I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
I want to say shame on Piers Morgan.
Well, why shame on him and not shame on everybody else?
When you have a platform that people actually consider viable and you invite this, it's almost like the beginning of your end.
You know that Beyoncé waited a long time before she stepped in between them.
Beyoncé's legal team is reportedly in disarray following the emergence of shocking leaks that have set social media and the press ablaze. As speculation intensifies, sources indicate that the FBI has become involved, initiating a search that has only deepened the mystery surrounding the superstar. Known for meticulously protecting her private life, Beyoncé now finds herself at the center of swirling allegations that hint at previously concealed actions, casting a shadow over her pristine image. Stay tuned as we explore what these explosive revelations could mean for one of the world's most iconic entertainers, and how her team is navigating the crisis in real time.
People keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We gotta stop making ditties.
Looks like Diddy's in deep trouble with the recent accusations against him, and now Beyoncé's name is coming up too. Sources close to the federal investigation told CNN that a bunch of former employees who worked for Combs have been talking to prosecutors. One male S-worker is set to testify in front of the grand jury soon, and apparently, what these witnesses have shared goes way beyond what's already in the indictment. Authorities claim Combs didn't act alone. He had a whole network of people helping him out. If things keep moving the way they are, the next step might involve charging a bunch of his staff and associates. The indictment accuses Combs of using certain employees to help carry out and cover up his actions, which allegedly included threatening and abusing women during his so-called freak-offs, or S-parties. These employees included everyone from security guards and household staff to personal assistants and even higher-ups. According to former federal prosecutor Manny Medrano, some of these people will probably make deals to testify against him, while others could face charges themselves. Whether they get prosecuted or not depends on their role, whether they were high-level enablers or just low-level ones caught up in it all.
A low level would be, let's just say, the housekeeper who picked up after one of the sex parties. But a high-level enabler would be someone who lured the women to come into the...
Medrano said it's likely Combs wasn't the only famous face in the room.
I have no doubt that perhaps there are some other high-level celebrities, high-profile individuals who attended these parties, participated in them.
So, everyone knew what was really going on at Diddy's parties, and it definitely didn't do Beyoncé or Jay-Z any favors. Rumors were flying, and people were giving them major side-eye. The gossip machine went into overdrive, with stories making it sound like Bey was caught up in the mess at one of Diddy's notorious parties. But here's the kicker. There's another side to the story that throws cold water on all that talk. DaBaby's testimony about the night? Yeah, apparently it's not adding up because sources say Beyoncé had already bounced before he even showed up. So this whole thing might just be another case of wild rumors spiraling out of control.
I actually met Beyoncé before. That was one of the people be like, who you met? You know what I'm saying? That like it threw you out, like it took you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Beyoncé,
Beyoncé and Jay-Z are undeniably among the most influential figures in the music industry today. As their careers have flourished, they have become music moguls, leaving a significant impact on the entertainment world through their albums, fashion lines, and various endeavors. From their early days of young love to their thriving marriage, their journey has been a remarkable one. According to Jay-Z, well, that's my soulmate. It's the person I love. And you can be in love with someone, you can love someone, and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, you're going to have complications, period. And folks started speculating that if Beyoncé was at Diddy's party, she might be one of Diddy's alleged accomplices. You know how the rumor mill works? People love to connect dots, especially when it comes to big names in the industry. It adds another layer to the already complicated web of relationships among these moguls. Whether it's just gossip, or there's something more to it, it definitely keeps the conversation buzzing. One person wrote, "That was the after party. Diddy let him stay for the after party where the freak-offs happened. The 15 people that stayed are people who are the inner circle of the freak-offs. They let the baby stay because Diddy wanted to induct him into the wildness with Jay's Beyoncé and the others that stayed back. Everything is beginning to make sense." But recently, Jaguar Wright sent shockwaves through the industry when she dropped some bombshells about Jay-Z and Beyoncé on Piers Morgan's show. She might not be a big name, but that makes her an easier target for backlash. It's not like this is her first rodeo with drama or even the law. She's always been a bit of a wild card, unafraid to go after the big dogs even if it puts her in a risky position. Her tenacity is pretty impressive, but you have to wonder if it's a bit reckless too. Still, she's not the only one brave enough to take shots at her peers. Then, out of nowhere, Piers issued a sudden apology. Like what? An apology right after such a viral moment? It left a lot of people scratching their heads trying to figure out what went down behind the scenes. The whole situation just adds more fuel to the fire of speculation.
Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. Like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
The streets are buzzing that it wasn't just Piers having second thoughts. It might have been Jay-Z and Beyoncé pulling strings behind the scenes, making sure the damage didn't spread any further. Insiders are whispering that Jay and Bey had their legal team on speed dial, possibly sending threats to Piers to shut it down or face some serious repercussions. After all, these two have a history of getting what they want, and they're not shy about flexing their influence to protect their image. Rumors are flying that right after Jaguar's explosive claims, calls went out to media outlets, delivering a clear ultimatum: pull this content or else. Some speculate that network executives and journalists might be feeling the heat too, worried they could be the next targets of the couple's wrath if they dare to dig deeper into these allegations. It's a wild game, and you can bet everyone's on high alert.
Had a guest on his show, and that guest made some claims against Jay-Z, and even he ended up having to apologize to Beyoncé.
Adding to the intrigue, there are whispers that some insiders who've worked closely with Jay and Beyoncé are starting to spill their own tea, hinting that there's a lot more dirt to uncover. This could be the beginning of a massive cover-up in the works, with more people potentially coming forward with their own stories. And what about the implications for Piers Morgan? Did he really apologize out of guilt? Or was it a calculated move to protect his career? One thing's for sure. The lengths Jay and Beyoncé are willing to go to keep their empire intact should not be underestimated. With all eyes on them now, it's clear that Kat and Jaguar's revelations could shake the very foundation of their carefully curated narrative. As they continue to raise their voices, the public is left wondering just how many more secrets are lurking beneath the surface. Days after the YouTube episode aired, Morgan found himself in hot water and took to the camera to issue an apology on behalf of his media company. He emphasized that they should have checked Jaguar's wild claims, which he admitted were unverified. It's a messy situation, and as things unfold, it looks like the drama is just getting started. The former Good Morning Britain host said Wright would have voiced her opinions regardless of appearing on the show, saying, "The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone had a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear." He added, "That's why we invited Wright on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine." But Morgan said that now he had heard from the couple's lawyers, they would edit Wright's allegations out of the show. He then offered a direct apology, saying, "Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored." But like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theater, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologize to Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Adding fuel to the fire, Cat Williams has also been very vocal about Jay and Beyoncé, accusing them of sacrificing fellow artists and ruining careers just to climb to the top of the industry. He's gone on record saying that many talented actors and musicians have mysteriously fallen off the map after crossing paths with the couple. This isn't just gossip. Cat claims that behind the glitz and glamour, there's a darker side to their rise, one that involves manipulation and a ruthless quest for power.
That virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no.
Rumors are swirling that immediately following Jaguar's explosive claims, calls were made to media outlets, giving them a clear ultimatum: remove this content or else. Some speculate that network executives and journalists might be feeling the heat too, fearing they could be the next targets of the couple's wrath if they dare to cover these allegations further.
Had a guest on his show, and that guest made some claims against Jay-Z, and even he ended up having to apologize to Beyoncé as well too.
This whole situation really highlights just how far-reaching the Carters' influence is. Even someone as high profile as Piers Morgan feels the need to backtrack and apologize when their names come up. It sends a clear message. Mess with Jay and Bey, and you might find yourself scrambling to do some serious damage control. As the saga unfolds, it's clear that no one wants to step into the ring with this powerhouse couple, especially when they've got a legal team ready to swing into action at a moment's notice. Now, there's no public link between Jaguar and Beyoncé, but Jaguar won't stop insisting she's got all the juicy personal details about the Halo singer. It feels like she's trying to insert herself into their world, and honestly, it's giving major drama alert vibes. During her explosive interview, she didn't hold back at all. She leaned into her long history with Hov and dropped some serious claims that had his lawyers buzzing. Piers even pointed out how Jay-Z had been quiet as a mouse since the Diddy scandal blew up, asking Jaguar why she thought that was. Her bold response? She claimed that after Diddy's arrest, and possibly because of her revelations, Jay would have no choice but to respond. It's a wild ride, and the stakes just keep getting higher.
A nasty little couple.
Jay-Z.
They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will.
When Jaguar says Jay-Z would respond, she's not talking about a polite little statement. She's talking about some serious media control. According to her, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have a long history of shutting down anyone who dares speak out against them. Let's be real. If they've allegedly sabotaged careers and blacklisted artists, what's stopping them from flexing their power over media outlets too? Rumors are already swirling that they might have threatened Piers Morgan or his team to scrub that interview with Jaguar from existence. Let's be real. Morgan's sudden apology seemed a bit too convenient, don't you think?
Like coverage that different outlets are doing on the Diddy accusations, right?
Right.
He says these people have platforms with or without shows like mine. I will just say though, like I know now because anybody can get on TikTok, YouTube, wherever, and
it's starting to look like Piers played with fire and got burned. He had the perfect chance to expose the truth about the industry, but instead he backed down right when it mattered most. Now his reputation's on shaky ground, and people are already saying this might be the beginning of the end for him. With 50 Cent jumping into the mix, someone who's never been afraid to call out Jay and Bey, it's clear things are only going to get messier for Piers. However, according to Jaguar, that close bond between Beyoncé and Jay-Z might be hiding something shady. Remember those old rumors about their marriage being more of a business deal? Well, it looks like Jaguar thinks those were spot on because apparently Beyoncé's just sticking to the deal. Jaguar even said she's witnessed Jay-Z and Kanye West hooking up with other men, but why did Beyoncé never bother to talk about this matter? At first, people thought Jaguar's claims were pretty wild and hard to believe, but as time went on, especially with the whole Diddy situation, something she's been calling out for years, her words started to hit differently. As more people got pulled into the drama, her stories began to make more sense. Jaguar claims Jay-Z is a master manipulator, using his power to control people's careers and even their personal lives. According to her, he's cheated on Beyoncé with several women, including Rihanna, Foxy Brown, and Rosario Dawson. She also said he's blackballed artists who didn't want to work with him or who spoke out against him, like Beanie Siegel, Freeway, and Emile. Not only that, Jaguar goes even further, claiming that Beyoncé has been using spells and mind control tactics to keep herself in power and maintain control over people. She even suggests that Beyoncé has used these tricks to keep Jay-Z completely tied down. And then there's Jaguar's take on Aaliyah's tragic death, which really adds to the intrigue. She claims that when Aaliyah passed, Beyoncé's solo career was struggling and she desperately needed something big to push her to superstardom. According to Jaguar, Aaliyah's untimely death gave Beyoncé the boost she needed, ultimately helping her rise to the Queen of Many Hearts.
By the way, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah died?
Yeah.
And Beyonce's solo career was struggling?
As Aaliyah's memory starts to fade, it raises a big question. How long are we going to let the same people benefit from these repeated tragedies? Some people think it's long overdue for those involved to be held accountable, and even fans are rallying behind Jaguar for speaking out in defense of their beloved Aaliyah. They're calling for justice in her name. And then there's all the wild speculation out there, everything from theories about who the pilot really was to the most out there claim that the Illuminati was involved in Aaliyah's death, all to make way for Beyoncé's rise to superstardom. Some people actually believe this was all part of some master plan to help Queen Bey reach the top. One journalist, Iyandali, even jumped into the conversation and shared her thoughts on Aaliyah's death. She said, "I remember when Aaliyah passed away, I was really upset. The story kept saying that she was adamant about getting on the plane. I was almost upset with her. Why did you want to get on that plane so badly?" I remember wrestling with this, being like, well, she wanted to get back to Damon Dash. She wanted to be with her team, and who wouldn't want their stuff with them? But why Beyoncé? Aaliyah and Beyoncé were seen as chasing the same dream, which supposedly set the stage for a rivalry. The theory suggests that the Illuminati chose Beyoncé to carry the torch, while Aaliyah, who was trying to break free from the industry's control, became a threat. According to this idea, that's why Beyoncé got the push, because Aaliyah's desire for independence made her dangerous to the system. Jay-Z's name is getting pulled back into the spotlight over Kathy White's mysterious death. Remember a few years ago, when there were rumors flying about Jay having a side chick named Kathy White while he was married to Beyoncé? Well, things just got a whole lot messier. Kathy passed away under mysterious circumstances, which sparked a ton of conspiracy theories. There wasn't much solid evidence at the time linking Jay to anything criminal, but some people speculated that something shady was going on. It's wild how little information exists about Kathy White, who reportedly died in 2011. Now, journalist Liz Crowan has stirred things up again by revealing that she spoke with Kathy right before her death. Liz is even hinting that Jay-Z's time might be running out, and fans are buzzing. To make things even crazier, old blog posts are resurfacing, claiming that Kathy was spotted hanging out with both Jay-Z and Diddy. The plot just keeps thickening. The fact that Jay was already married to Beyoncé when he was allegedly trying to get with Kathy definitely doesn't sit well with people. It's left some wondering, was Beyoncé trying to manipulate Kathy into something shady? Especially since Bey has a history of being accused of manipulating people for her own gain. And apparently, Kathy isn't the only one on the list. There are rumors that Usher might be another one of her so-called victims. Some folks are pointing to his recent interview on the Club Shay Shay podcast. When the host asked Usher if there was any collaboration he regretted in his career, his response has people speculating even more. In the podcast, Usher dropped this bombshell. "You gonna hate me for this one. Jay-Z, Pharrell, Diddy, and me were supposed to be a group. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't say no. I didn't say, yeah." I think that we just got caught up. We all got caught up in the moment. We were talking about it and having secret meetings about it. He continued with the what could have been saga, saying, "We were talking about music and how we were going to flip it and the business side of things. Somehow we just got distracted, and it never happened." That's one that I actually wish would have happened. Now, for some, this sparks the theory that Beyoncé might have been working behind the scenes to sabotage the collaboration. While Usher has teamed up with Diddy, Jay-Z, and Pharrell individually, that epic foursome never managed to drop a track together. It's got people wondering if there was more going on than meets the eye. At the end of the day, it's hard to separate fact from fiction when it comes to celebrity drama. Rumors spread fast, and the truth tends to get buried beneath the noise. While Diddy's situation is still unfolding and names keep popping up, it's a reminder that in the world of fame and fortune, stories can take on a life of their own. For now, all we can do is watch how it plays out and see if there's more to the story, or if it's just another chapter in the endless saga of celebrity gossip. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.
Perfect.